Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright, guys. Cuomo at it again. New York. You know, New York, the anti-gun state. They've always got something going on against guns, and today is no different. Now, this is something that Cuomo came out and said yesterday. He had a big press conference and a big hullabaloo in Albany, New York. But did you guys catch his 7 new instances and plan to get rid of gun violence in New York City? There's actually some stuff in there where I was like, excuse me, what? I'm sorry. And that's going to be our content tonight. Now, he's done some crazy stuff here, and he basically issued a brand new executive order declaring a emergency on gun violence in New York, which is interesting because I thought guns weren't allowed in New York. Just saying. But I've got a few clips here. Everything is linked in the description box below, as always, for your review if you want to watch the whole video for yourself. But there's some crazy stuff here, so check it out, all right? And we're going to walk through it step by step. So let's hear from Cuomo. I know, we have to though, guys. It's the cross that we bear. Here we go. Here's his first thing announcing what he's doing.
The problem. And you know what the problem is? It is a statewide problem, and it is an emergency. And I want the people of the state to understand that. And I want them to respond to the emergency for the way it is. So today, first state in the nation is going to declare a disaster emergency on gun violence.
Oh, yes, yes! Disaster emergency on gun violence. Okay, there's a lot more to this, but why did he declare a disaster emergency executive order today? Well, actually, technically yesterday. It's because the COVID one went away. The executive order that they had, the state of emergency, went away in New York under COVID, which meant he was back within confines of a governorship. Well, luckily for New York, you guys have a new emergency problem. So he now has unfettered access to $138 million to disperse as he sees fit. But don't worry, if you're worried, don't you worry, because there's a 7-step plan we're about to walk through, and then all of a sudden, he becomes a conservative on gun control and gun violence, and now it's all about the people committing the crimes, not the guns. You don't believe me? Hang around for like 2 minutes. But let's get into actually what he said, because this is interesting. So listen to the 7-point plan, which they're going to basically execute with the $138 million of unfettered access now that they've recreated a executive order in the state of New York. First in the nation, always leading the way. Check this out.
We also need a comprehensive plan of attack. We're going to have 7 steps. 1, treat gun violence as it is, which is really a public health emergency. That's what it is, and that's how we're going to treat it.
That's in the video, which is ironic.
Second, target the hot spots where the gun violence is coming from. It's not coming from every community everywhere. You can find out exactly where it's coming from, and you can target it. Third, you have to have a positive engagement with the at-risk youth. You can't just say, no, don't do it. You have to have a positive that you're applying. We have to break the cycle of the escalating violence because you see it coming. You see 2 groups fighting, 1 shot, 2 shot, 4 shots, 10 shots. You can interrupt that progression of violence, and that's what we have to do. We have to get illegal guns off the street, and we have to get the guns out of hands of dangerous people, and we have to rebuild the police-community relationship, period.
Okay, so, yeah, that was fun. We had to do it, but let's just talk about these points real quick, because this is mind-boggling. Okay, first one. Treat gun violence like the emergency public health issue it is. Remember what we've talked about on this channel for several months now? Change the definitions and you can change the actions. Gun violence is now a public health emergency in New York. Therefore, you have unfettered access to do whatever you want because we changed the definition. It is leftist ideological practice. They change the definitions in order to achieve their means all the time. That's what happened here. The second one, target hotspots with data and science. Hotspots? Wait, do you mean like the inner city areas and all the different violent areas of the city that are causing a majority of the crime? That can't be it. Oh, wait till the next section. The third one, Positive engagement for at-risk youth. Okay, be positive. I support that. Break the cycle of escalating violence. I support that. Get illegal guns off the streets. How can there be guns if there's ultimate gun control? Do you see what I'm saying? 6, keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. 4473s. Every gun that's purchased in the United States has to go through that. Prevents the dangerous people. There's a background check, every single one of them. Rebuild the police-community relationship? This is the guy who defunded all the police in New York over the past year. Just saying. Okay, those are the 7 steps, but this is where he turns into almost a conservative, and this is really specific around number 2, targeting the hotspots. Listen to what this man said. Politicians, dude, and especially New York politicians. Okay, here we go. And you guys let me know what you think below of this portion.
4,000 young men, 18 to 24, across the state, responsible for 48% of the shootings. Once someone tells you that, once you know that, what do you say? Reach out to those 4,000 young men in a state of 19 million.
Wait, 4,000 people are causing all the half of the gun violence with illegal guns in a state of 19 million people? I thought taking the guns across the entire state would solve the problem. But no, you still have illegal problems with guns that are not by dangerous people. They're owned by dangerous people. And it's only 4,000 people responsible for 50% out of 19 million. They're defeating the gun argument by issuing more gun arguments. Or gun control arguments. This is insane. Okay, that's the main thing of why. So Cuomo can go away. He can get out of here. But the whole point here, guys, Cuomo is going at this from twofold. He's playing the far left agenda of guns, and gun violence is now a health issue, and therefore I can do whatever I want. So I have access to $138 million because it's an executive order on an emergency. Then on the other side, he's playing the conservative side, the side of funding the police. We're going to focus on the areas where the guns are coming from, which makes sense. Oh, and by the way, 4,000 people are responsible for 50% of the gun violence in a state of 19 million. Now he's going back to the leftist thing where we should take all guns because 4,000, they completely dispel the rights of 19 million. This man right here just proved that gun control does not work, and we have a hell of a good spot to stand on because we are the Second Amendment supporters, and every single day we're fighting this kind of stupidity. But that's what I've got for you tonight, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and until tomorrow, I'm Braden. See you later.